And that stuff is really frustrating because doctors then speak with this sense of confidence where they say you have to do this every day. When matter of fact, they themselves probably don't even do it and don't even believe it. And please hear this from somebody who has been working with thousands of people from all around the world in the last 10 years, and we get awesome success stories almost on a daily basis. If your doc is telling you this, please show him this video and I'll gladly talk to your doctor to talk some sense into his recommendation. A client of mine recently sent me a voice message, and in the background you can hear an audiobook playing, a German book called Die Fitnesslüge, or The Fitness Lie, by Dr. Arvid Neumann, who calls himself Germany's first fascia orthopedist. And what I heard shocked me. You see, in this book, the doc claims that kettlebell training is unnatural. Kettlebells also increase pain instead of eliminating or reducing it. It only helps temporarily, and that you shouldn't even be proud if you're able to do 10,000 steps a day. So in this video, I'm gonna break down these points because, as you know, we are into kettlebells, and if somebody has a point of view about this wonderful tool, I'm always gonna give you my thoughts. And if you're over 40 and you want to become strong, fit, and lean without going to the gym, download my free ebook in the first link in the description. It's a shortcut to success if you're just starting your kettlebell journey. Grüezi miteinander, Gregory von Lebe Stark here. Before we dive in, let me quickly explain something called the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's a psychological bias that shows up when someone has just a little bit of knowledge in the field. You just tried it out, but you don't have enough to really understand it. There's even a curve for this. At the start, when someone learns a little bit, their confidence shoots straight up. That peak is called Mount Stupid, and every one of us has been there. Then, as they gain more experience, their confidence crashes into the valley of despair before rising slowly up again as they build real mastery. Listening to this book, I couldn't help but think that Dr. Neumann is standing right on Mount Stupid at the top when he talks about kettlebells. He thinks he knows enough about the subject to believe he's right, but not enough about the subject to know that he's wrong. So in the book he says, you must always resist and stay tense in the kettlebell swing. It's absolutely not true. You see, the beauty of kettlebells is the rhythm between tension and relaxation that helps you to move continuously and unbroken. You generate explosive force, but then you also let it go. That balance is what makes kettlebell training so effective and so sustainable. He also claims that kettlebell training is unnatural. But let's think about the movements for a second. Hinging at the hips, extending the arms overhead, squatting, walking, pulling. These are the most natural human movement patterns there are. He also says that no supple body structure can emerge from this type of training. Honestly, what does this even mean? You see, the reality is kettlebell makes you mobile, stronger, more enduring, adds to your sense of movement. It's natural. It might even increase your kinesthetic literacy. This is what I call GPP, General Physical Preparedness. And that's exactly what a capable, strong, and healthy body needs, especially a body that doesn't have a lot of time for training. Now, there's one point I actually agree with. There are difficulties in letting go. So people are having issues in letting go because we're always tense and tight. I see this all the time in our practice. And that's precisely why kettlebells are so useful and so powerful. They teach you the art of letting go instead of always being tense. You learn to create tension. Yes, we need it. But you also learn to release it and relax. That's not just a training principle, that's a life principle. Another claim is that kettlebells increase pain. Of course, if you do them wrong. Like with any tool, bad technique coupled with heavy weights, I call this misloading or overloading the body, can lead to pain and injury. We make sure the body can move well before we add kettlebells, because if we don't do this, it's like driving down a street filled with potholes. You can do it, but it's risky and things might break. And here's the truth. We have hundreds of clients, average age 51, who have eliminated their pain with kettlebell training. We have thousands of comments from all around the world, from people who are not even our clients. They just use our YouTube stuff, and they share their success stories. And since we talk about kettlebell training, if you want the Ferrari of the kettlebell, which I believe is the Pro Kettlebell, then you gotta purchase one. I use it all the time. I use it exclusively. We're working hard on selling it in Europe as well as in Switzerland. If you want to get one right now, you can get it via my link in the description for 10% off. This is the only kettlebell you need to get maximum benefits and results. Then he also says that kettlebells only can help you temporarily, or if you experience a reduction or an elimination of pain, it comes back after a while. That's just plain wrong. We have seen people change their lives permanently with kettlebells. Not weeks, not months, years, and they feel better. Now, the doc also suggests that it is best to train daily. And this shows how disconnected the doctor really is from normal people's lives. Oftentimes, doctors or therapists, they recommend for you to train daily. For the average person, even once a week, consistently, all year long, is already a massive win. Of course, if you train more, you'll get more results, even though there's also diminishing returns. But daily training is unrealistic, unsustainable, and absolutely not necessary for you to notch awesome wins to change your body. And that stuff is really frustrating, because doctors then speak with this sense of confidence where they say you have to do this every day, when matter of fact they themselves probably don't even do it and don't even believe it. And please hear this from somebody who has been working with thousands of people from all around the world in the last 10 years, and we get awesome success stories almost on a daily basis. If your doc is telling you this, please show him this video, and I'll gladly talk to your doctor to talk some sense into his recommendation. Now, Dr. Neumann also claims that the true causes of the problem is the fascia. This is the kind of absolutism that makes me skeptical instantly. Throwing out one universal cause for your issues and your problems while dismissing an entire training method? That's not science, that's ideology and dogma. And then it gets really bizarre. He says, don't be proud if you walked 10,000 steps a day because you're probably walking the wrong way. Really? Walking is one of the healthiest, most natural, most accessible things that a human being can do. And to discourage people from being proud of achieving 10,000 steps a day, which is a feat for many of us, that spreads fear instead of empowerment. Now he criticizes gyms for being full of the same machines, and here's where I 100% agree with the doc. But here's the reason. Gyms are designed for business efficiency, not for results. Hence, they don't change. And that's why I think kettlebells are part of the antidote. They replace isolation with integration, sitting with standing, and machines with mastery. And finally, he says training is isolated and repetitive. He doesn't mention kettlebells, but I think he lumps them in the same category. Now check this out. Repetitions is how humans adapt. Running is repetitive. Walking is repetitive. Swimming is repetitive. That doesn't make these movement patterns ineffective. So let's sum this up. Are kettlebells unnatural? No. Do they increase or cause pain? No. If you know how to use them and if you use the proper dosage and the weights. And are results only temporary? Yes, if you don't stay consistent. So that's one absolution that goes for each and every one of us. If we don't stay consistent with our practice, our results will disappear. So if you want to get strong, lean, and pain-free without going to the gym, kettlebells are the perfect choice. So here's the next thing that you have to do. Clean and press that like and subscribe button. Share with a friend who's interested in kettlebells. And if you made it this far, download my free ebook in the first link in the description. It's called the Kettlebell Code. If you're over 40, 50, or 60, you don't have a lot of time, but you still want to take care of your fitness, this is where the kettlebell comes in. And I'm going to give you a shortcut to success with my ebook. So what are you waiting for? It's 100% free in the first link in the description.